Good morning, everyone. Please be seated. On behalf of what I like to call a very special hotel for mathematics, welcome to AIM South Africa. This remarkable center opened its doors just over 20 years ago with a bold vision to nurture Africa's brightest mathematical minds and build scientific capacity on the continent. What began here in Muizenberg has since grown into a network. Centers have opened in Senegal, Ghana, Cameroon, and Rwanda. Today's recognition of achievement ceremony is one of 5 such celebrations taking place across the AIMS network. It is therefore a truly Pan-African occasion celebrating not only academic excellence, but also the friendships, collaborations, and shared purpose that unite students from across the continent. Most importantly, today is about you, our students. You are the reason we are all gathered here. You are the stars of the celebration. On your behalf, I welcome all the very special guests who have joined us in this celebration. AIM South Africa was founded through a unique partnership between the University of Cape Town, the University of the Western Cape, and Stellenbosch University. Our students are formally registered at these partner institutions while completing their studies here at AIMS. Someone recently remarked to me that one of the most remarkable aspects of our recognition of achievement ceremony is that students from 3 different universities walk across the same stage. That is incredibly special. It reflects a spirit of collaboration that is rare in higher education and speaks to the shared commitment of our partner universities to developing the next generation of mathematical scientists for Africa. You may notice that today is called a recognition of achievement ceremony rather than a graduation. Our students have successfully completed their studies at AIMS, but many will return to their home countries this weekend, long before their universities hold formal graduation ceremonies. Today gives us the opportunity to celebrate their achievements together, to recognize their hard work that has brought them to this point, and to send them home with the appreciation and applause that they deserve. While we have representatives from our partner universities present, we would like to thank you for your continued support of AIMS. You will also notice the emblems of our 3 founding partners, the universities of Cambridge, Oxford, and Paris Sud. We remain deeply grateful for their support and their belief in AIMS from the very beginning. At AIMS, we can only do what we do because of partners who believe, as we do, that developing scientific talent in Africa is an investment in the future of sciences worldwide. I'd like to acknowledge some very special guests that have joined us. Professor Hussein Suleiman from UCT and his team, thank you for joining us. Professor Sibo Moyo and the team from Stellenbosch University, we're very grateful for your support. And Professor Paran Pillay representing UWC. Thank you for being here. We also have some lecturers who are teaching at AIMS at present. I'm extremely proud of them. Both of them are teaching assistants who we have mentored and are now lecturers of their respective courses, Dr. Mina Monajam and Dr. Brice Razakarinoru, who are lecturing Lie algebras and their applications and number theory, respectively. You represent the host of volunteers who are given their time and energy to train our students. Over the past few years, AIMS South Africa has grown in some very exciting ways. While every student today will graduate eventually with the same degree, a Master of Science in Mathematical Sciences later this year, they now follow one of 2 specialized streams, the Mathematical Sciences stream or the AI for Science stream. The 2 streams share a common mathematics foundation and has the following structure. Every student begins with skills courses, and from there, students tailor their learning through advanced courses spanning topics such as algebra, topology, mathematical biology, reinforcement learning, the theoretical foundations of deep learning, fluid dynamics, climate science, quantum information, quantum computing, explainable AI, and machine learning. It's meant to be a mouthful. While each stream has its own emphasis, students continue to learn from one another, reflecting the increasingly interdisciplinary nature of modern science. I would like to take a moment also to recognize Professor Ulrich Beckett, who has served as the director of the AI for Science stream. In addition to holding a full-time appointment at Google DeepMind, Ulrich has overseen the AI curriculum and the research projects of more than 40 students. He really sets the bar for productivity. His commitment, expertise, and vision have played a pivotal role in establishing and growing this exciting program and AI at AIMS, and we are deeply grateful for the extraordinary contribution. I would also like to thank Dr. Kasturi Shah and Dr. Jacques Rabi for their tremendous support throughout the examination process we recently completed, helping to ensure the high academic standards that underpin the AIMS program. Please join me in thanking them for their outstanding service to AIMS South Africa. At the beginning of the ceremony, I welcomed you to what I affectionately call our hotel for mathematics. Like any great hotel, guests are constantly arriving and departing. Every few weeks, we welcome world-leading mathematicians, scientists, and AI experts who come to teach, inspire, sometimes serve, and share their expertise. They then return to their home institutions, making way for the next guest. Unlike a hotel, our students don't leave. They become part of a vibrant intellectual community. AIMS becomes their home. They live where they learn. They share meals with lecturers and teaching assistants. Conversations that begin in the lecture theatre continue over breakfast, lunch, and dinner, around whiteboards, and often late into the evening. Some of the most memorable learning happens outside the classroom. Every great hotel depends on a team of people working quietly behind the scenes to make every guest experience exceptional. Our Hotel for Mathematics is no different. To our program managers, administrative staff, finance team, facilities, maintenance staff, IT team, communications team, kitchen, housekeeping, AIMSEC, House of Science, and everyone whose work so often happens out of the spotlight. Thank you. You are the people who keep this place running. You create the environment in which our students can focus on learning, our lecturers can focus on teaching, and our visitors always feel welcome and want to return. Many of our students will remember the lectures they attended and the mathematics they learned, but they will also remember the warm greeting at reception, the meals shared together, the classrooms prepared each morning, Iksan sending out late emails around behavior and what is not allowed, and the residents they call home, and the countless acts of kindness that made AIMS feel like more than a place to study. This community exists because of you. It's why I joined this community, and we are deeply grateful for your dedication, professionalism, and care. To our families and supporters, I know many are far away. I want you to know just how hard these students have worked. 6 days a week, they have immersed themselves in demanding mathematics, data science, and artificial intelligence. They have been challenged from the very beginning, often far beyond anything they had encountered before. Their days have been filled with lectures, tutorials, assignments, research, and the result is an outstanding body of work that we celebrate today. Walk through AIMS on any evening, and you will find students discussing graph theory beyond the curriculum, often writing on the glass, which we welcome, debating ARIMA models, experimenting with deep neural networks, or helping one another solve difficult research problems. It is this culture of curiosity, collaboration, and shared discovery that makes AIMS such a special place. To our graduates, I want you to know how immensely proud we are of you. Throughout the year, we have witnessed a level of dedication, curiosity, resilience, and perseverance that is truly extraordinary. Today belongs to you. You have earned every moment of the celebration. You are the stars of this ceremony. I would like to end with an African proverb that captures the spirit of AIMS perfectly. Wisdom is like a baobab tree. No one individual can embrace it. Over the past year, you have learned from lecturers from around the world, but perhaps even more importantly, you have learned from each other. The friendships you have built, the ideas you have shared, and the problems you have solved together are part of what makes AIMS so special. My hope is that whatever steps you take next, you will continue to share your knowledge generously, build others up, and help grow the baobab of African science for graduates to come. Congratulations to each of you as we celebrate you today. I'm now going to call on Professor Ulrich Paquet to hand over to first give a speech as the director of the AI program. Thank you, Ulrich.
Thank you very much, Karen. For the AFS Science students who are under my care, first of all, I am deeply, deeply, deeply proud of you for everything that you've achieved, and most of all, that you have survived, that you stand here still on your 2 feet, and that you're not lying exhausted in a corner somewhere. Very well done to all of you. This program would not have been possible without the support of so many people. AIMS relies on people stepping in emergencies. Kasturi Shah, thank you so much. we had to invigilate 37 oral exams in a row. It's a inhumane task. A student flew in from Cambridge to join us for 2 months to support our academic work here. She invigilated half of our oral exams. To our lecturers who flew in, teaching assistants who've had a tremendous challenge this year in the age of generative AI, large language models, and ChatGPT that provides easy answers. They had a tremendous job in marking, doing oral exams, marking more written assignments than they've ever had before in their entire lives. Thank you for surviving this year with us, teaching assistants. To Google DeepMind, who funds this program, I'll speak about that in a second. Thank you so much. And then to all the staff who've been around to give wraparound support to our students. Everything from buying flight tickets to sending them across Africa to managing visas to personal issues. Thank you so much. And then students, we've learned so much from you. When I look into your eyes, I see a positive attitude. I see a cohort that thinks about inclusivity, that thinks about each other. I see a cohort that is kind and engaging. And as many lecturers say, you're actually ideal students. And I've heard this quote in a few oral exams as well. You've got a willingness to learn. And somehow, in this intense environment, you are not realizing how high you really fly. And I think if you step outside of AIMS and compare yourself to what most other students would have learned, you are extremely, extremely privileged. At the end of every oral exam, we ask our students to explain one randomly picked reference from their research dissertation to us. We ask them how it's relevant, what claims in the dissertation it supports. It's quite challenging because you actually have to memorize 30 or 40 or 50 papers off by heart. And for all the students who've just done that so effortlessly, who could explain a research work of everyone who they cited to the greatest depth, it was such a joy to see you excel in this way. I want to tell you why we are running an AI for Science stream here at AIMS and how it came about, just very briefly. In the first 30 years of NeurIPS, which is the world's premier AI conference, could you guess how many papers were published with an author originating or writing their paper from Africa in the first 30 years? Any guess would do. Zero. The answer is zero. In the first 30 years of the world's premier AI conference, there was not a single paper published by an author that was based in Africa. And that speaks to the big challenge that we have ahead of us. Things have changed since then, and this is a result of many layers of investment. The first one is grassroots communities. Over the last 10 years, you've seen grassroots communities grow across Africa to try and shift this needle for African development in AI. And the mantra that these grassroots communities live with, can you hear me at the back, or should I raise this a bit? The mantra that these grassroots communities live by is a quote by Sir Ernest Rutherford. And I read this quote at the Nobel Prize Museum in Stockholm. And his quote is, and it would really resonate for everyone at the university, his quote is, "We haven't got the money, so we had to think." And when he said, I thought, this is exactly our position here in Africa. We don't have the resources. So it makes us think very creatively in how we grow ourselves. I approached Mustafa Sis, who was at Facebook and Google at the time and founded the AMI program. And it was his idea to start an AI for Science program, precisely because it fills a very, very unique gap in the global curriculum in AI. And this was actually the first AI for Science program in the world. At the end of COVID, before all companies went or stepped out of lockdown, my wife and I visited the head of Google DeepMind's education team at his home. I want to say in secret, it was almost in secret. And we started discussing what an AI for Science program at AIMS could look like and what funding could be made available for that. That planning lasted at least 9 months before January 2022 arrived, when I received a long email from Demis Hassabis who gave his full support and Google DeepMind's full support for the program. Since then, Demis became a sir. He won a Nobel Prize, and I'm sure it's all to do with this decision of his. But it took 2.5 years of fundraising and prior work just to get the program off the ground and see the first intake year. When we started designing this program, the world was not what it is today. ChatGPT did not exist. The age of agentic AI has not arrived. We were still in a previous world of thinking about AI. AlphaFold was published that year. Students' low-rank adaptation that you use now to fine-tune your large language models, that didn't exist when we designed the program initially. And so Steve Jobs said at the end of his commencement speech at Stanford, he said, "Stay young, stay hungry." And we're trying our best to stay young, stay flexible, and stay hungry, and stay adaptive in how we teach you in these modern times. So what have you done this year? You've done a multitude of courses. I'm not going to enumerate all of them. They range from Bayesian inference to quantum computing to machine learning optimization to writing CUDA kernels for GPUs to Monte Carlo methods. Some things we achieved, some things we didn't. You had a neuroscience and AI course. My dream was that you would all dissect cockroaches, and we couldn't actually source them. So next year might be the first year we run a wet lab here. So you missed the cockroach dissecting to understand more about neuroscience. And you finished with a course straight from Joshua Benjo's lab. Joshua Benjo is an ACM Turing Award winner and one of the leading figures in deep learning. Your repertoire of work is impressive. In your oral exams and your research dissertations, your work spanned from the extremely theoretical, reproducing kernel Hilbert spaces, mathematics that I have no idea to explain to anyone, to frontier agentic AI, to quantum computing, to defining the threat surface of AI in a world that does not exist yet, and figuring out how that would work from a philosophical point of view. So you've showed a huge amount of original thinking. And as you leave Ames now, I want to leave you with these parting words. So you're a privileged group of students, you and the mathematical science stream students. You have opportunities that very few students in Africa or the world could dream of. And now the challenge is yours. And I brought something with to show us an object lesson. So my challenge to you and message to you is that the world that you're stepping in is like a piece of clay. We're currently in a space where global politics and different people's agendas, both local and global, shape this piece of clay. You have to realize that you can shape this piece of clay as well. And you absolutely have to shape it. Because if you don't shape it on behalf of everyone in Africa who didn't get the opportunities that you have, someone else is going to shape this piece of clay and it's going to turn into a form that you do not like. So every student here, your job is to take the world as this piece of clay into your hands and shape it with your own fingers into the form that you want. Because you can, you're equipped to shape it. And with that, I just want to finish and say thank you very much for being a great, great, great cohort. Take the world, you're equipped to shape it, go and shape it.
Thank you, Ulrich. So I now have the privilege of speaking to you not as the executive director, but as the current academic director of the Mathematical Sciences program. When I began thinking about what I wanted to say to you today, I kept coming back to one word: community. A few weeks ago, we hosted an Ames alumni gathering in Cape Town. It was wonderful to see graduates from many different cohorts coming back together. Some had not seen each other for nearly 20 years, yet within minutes they were laughing, sharing stories, and picking up conversations as no time had passed. What struck me most was what they reminisced about. They weren't talking about marks or those dreaded oral examinations. They weren't talking about the lack of sleep, which is something that's very prominent in our community. They were reminiscing about long evenings spent together wrestling with a difficult mathematics problem, trying every possible approach until someone finally found the breakthrough. Those shared moments of challenge, frustration, and discovery had become some of their happiest memories. Afterwards, we asked them one simple question: what did AIMS give you? Of course, many spoke about the academic opportunities. They spoke about careers, PhDs, research, and the many doors that AIMS had opened. But what struck me most was how many people answered with something entirely different. They wrote words like family, belonging, a community. That to me says something remarkable about AIMS. The mathematics and AI are exceptional. The lecturers are exceptional. The opportunities are exceptional. But what people remember, even 20 years later, is one another. And today, each of you shortly becomes part of that community. It is a community that stretches across Africa and around the world. Wherever your journey takes you, whether to academia, industry, government, or somewhere completely unexpected, you will find AIMS alumni who understand exactly what this year has meant to you. They know what it was like to wrestle with difficult mathematics, to doubt themselves before an exam, to celebrate solving a problem, and to discover the impossible gradually does become possible. This year, you have traveled through an extraordinary range of mathematics, from fluid dynamics to model theory, from solitons to algebraic systems biology, from verified computing to software development, to name a few. It's been an extraordinary intellectual journey. Then came your research projects. Standing in front of examiners is never easy, yet each one of you defended your work with confidence, professionalism, and grace. You demonstrated not only what you had learned, but how much you had grown as young academics. For that, you should feel enormously proud. For me, it has been an absolute privilege to journey with you this year. It has been a joy to witness your growth, not only as mathematicians and scientists, but as confident, thoughtful, and resilient individuals. Watching you develop from the first few weeks of the program when you arrive here and still wonder if it is a scam, to today is one of the rewarding parts of this role. And I want you to know something. I am proud of you, proud of your resilience, proud of your curiosity, and proud of the way you have supported one another, proud of the community you have built together over this past year. As you leave AIMS shortly from tomorrow onwards, I hope you carry that sense of belonging with you. Stay connected, support one another, give back to the community, celebrate one another's successes, welcome future graduates into this remarkable family. Because while your time as students at AIMS may soon come to an end, your place in the AIMS community is only just beginning. Congratulations to each of you, and welcome to the AIMS alumni family. Thank you. So now we can move on to the part I'm most excited about, which is the conferring of the recognition of achievement certificates. I'm going to ask Ulrich to come forward. We're going to start with the AI for Science stream, and Nina is going to read the names for us. Thank you.
Usama Ahmed Kawashji Abdul Rahim Makhlouf. Nudul Betty Abraham. Nur Tahin Jahanahari Ansh Andi Manana. Karen Bundi Anempu. Tasnim Minhat Mustafa Atallah. Khadija Edarzi. Joshua Romaric Edo. Abdul Khalik Al-Fateh Saleh Ahmed. Abdul Rashid Bolaji Fawole. Oluwa Tomi Lola Esther Fayomi. So, Astrid Melvin Fokam Ninyin. In absentia. Dagmawi Misker Gadamu. Mahunyon Aime Loik Gahude. Well done. Lionel Cedric Gahude. Well done. Ethar Ahmad Muhammad Hamid. Very pretty. Hassan Muhammad Hassan Suleiman. Raida Hussein Abdurrahman Ibrahim. Elizabeth Wambui Kihungi. Elisha Ayobami Komolafe. Eliud Nyagweba Koto. Congratulations, so handsome. Tovina Terry Leong Poxi. Congratulations. Vincent Mauda. You look handsome. Well done. Muhammad Asamaldin Adam Nagi. Well done. James Oswald D. Nosey. Well done.
Thank you.
Abbas Omowale Ogutade. Congratulations. Simi Lolua Aditoyosi Okunowa in absentia. Daniel Ayumide Olawareju in absentia. Emmanuel Oluwasegun Olateju in absentia. Rado Fitiavana Rokotu Rivioni. Mirindra Fadrisena Randria Manana Tena. Congratulations. Michael Fasiavana Randria Mifidi. Ruzu Niaina Resuhafahari. Very pretty. Miali Manana Andrea Nina Be Ame Razafindra Kutu. Congratulations. Muhammad Abdullahi Said. Well done. Joshua Aluyatimilein Salako. Congratulations. Koyaku Abolo Simsoba. Congratulations. Well done. Aiman Tariq Muhammad Osman Agaldi. Well done. Eliasi Tiao. Chegwube Onyeka Utomi. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you, Nina, for handling all the names for us. I'd now like to call on Brees, who's going to read the MS Mathematical Sciences name, and we're going to confer those as well.
Angelina Akpene Akporli. Congratulations. Fida Ahmed Atlaib Ahmed, in abstention. Tenri Niaina Andriatsituba. Manasseh Terna Anum. Congratulations. Lavender Akini Ayako. Daniel Kofi Boateng. Solomon Anikan Charlie. Congratulations. Biruk Daniel Eshutu. Congratulations. Yeah. Angela Afia Oushua Fusa. Congratulations. Manode Descos Guidi. Congratulations. Victoria Valentin Idobo. Congratulations. Good. Yeah. Vanessa Kuam Kemnone. Congratulations. No. Tabo Simon Manosa. Congratulations. Mofoka Rebuse Ditwe Matibela. Sorry. In abstention. Sizipo Mbambo. In abstention. Bill Geni Bongo. God save Amukelani Ngala. Congrats. Good. Okay. Samueli Elia Kabigala. Congratulations. Maxwell Senzo Corsi. In abstention. Isdora Akini Ochen. Justina Aduako Tuam.
So thank you to Breeze for helping with the names. We now move on to the student addresses part of the ceremony. I'm going to ask James Oliwatumililo, Justina Amanonde to come forward, please.
Good morning, Executive and AI Director, distinguished faculty and staff, invited guests, and the amazing class of 2025-2026, whom we are honored to celebrate today. My name is James Nausi. I'm from Cameroon and a student in the AI stream at AIM South Africa. As the motto of this institution says, in Africa youth lies the future of science. Today, all of you, our invited guests, have the privilege of being seated among some of the brightest minds on the continent, shaped by AIMS. From Morocco to South Africa, through Burkina Faso and Kenya, a random sample of the students sitting here today will represent Africa in its diversity. Most of us came here through the generous Google DeepMind and MasterCard Foundation scholarships, united by a common quest for knowledge and a shared desire to help build Africa and the world. What a great ambition, leaving your home country to pursue further studies because you believe that Africa, and indeed the world, needs you. But did we really know what we were walking into? All we knew was that we were coming to AIMS, a world-renowned center of excellence. Although we had heard about its reputation for offering one of the most rigorous and intensive master's degrees in mathematical sciences in Africa. As great warriors, we arrived full of courage and confidence, convinced that the challenge will be easy for us. What a beautiful dream. As AI students, my coursemates and I, whom I now proudly refer to as my colleagues, came from very different backgrounds, yet we all had to go through the same struggles, understanding and building deep learning models, while at the same time writing articles as part of our assessment, giving presentations, sitting oral examinations, and constantly checking our emails for threatening deadlines from our TAs. At times, we felt like potatoes in a pot of soup inside an oven. We were being cooked. The pressure was simply unbelievable. Eventually, many of us started questioning our life choices. And some even thought about giving up. But fortunately, AIMS has one of the best support systems imaginable. The friendship among its students and the proximity with the staff. Despite the academic burden, there was always a friend to talk to or simply connect with. Thanks to the student clubs and to all those students who dedicated their time to organizing recreational, social, and cultural activities so that everyone could relax, connect, and enjoy life beyond academics. Dear student leaders, you are truly invaluable. Keep on in life with the same spirit. We also had the amazing opportunity as AI students to be paired with individual mentors from Google DeepMind, who, despite their busy schedule, always found time to share their experiences with us and guide us as we reflected on our career path. They even had a difficult mission of serving, at times, as therapists for some of us. Just to say how this program has not been an easy one. Alongside our struggles as students, there was also a faculty, and a staff who work tirelessly every single day, like the gears of a clock, to ensure that every student enjoyed an unforgettable AIMS experience. Hats off to our executive and AI directors for bringing dozens of lecturers from around the world to share their knowledge and experience with us. Thank you to the faculty for coordinating the different programs and workshops. Thank you to the facility staff for hosting us in this beautiful building that some of us affectionately call the greenhouse. Thank you to the catering and laundry teams, and thank you to every single person who contributed to making our stay here comfortable and memorable. We acknowledge that we have complained a lot about this and that along the way, but today we simply want to say that we are truly grateful for the care and special attention given to us. Thank you to the Google DeepMind Scholarship team for all the computational, technical, and intellectual resources you provided throughout our studies. Today, we gather to celebrate our strength, our resilience, and above all, our courage. Dear colleagues, never forget that we are among the top 1% in Africa. We have been equipped for the battles ahead. As my friends from the choir will say in minutes to come, the world is at our footsteps. So let us go and conquer it. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tomi Fayomi, and it's an honor to speak on behalf of the class of 2026. On the 12th of May 2025, I received an email from AIMS South Africa, an email that, unknown to me, would open the door to one of the most impactful years of my life. I believe many of us received a similar message, filled with excitement, gratitude, and anticipation. Then we arrived at AIMS, and before long, the journey began to look like this: beautiful, full of possibilities, but also complicated, unfamiliar, and far more challenging than we had imagined. How many of you have tried to solve one of these and soon decided that perhaps Rubik's Cube was simply not a part of your purpose in life? At the beginning, some of our courses felt this way. Like this cube, everything was in front of us, but we did not yet know how all the pieces were supposed to come together. And by the weeks passed, something changed. The work did not suddenly become easy. The problems did not become less complex. Instead, we became more capable. We learned to break difficult problems into smaller ones, ask better questions, and learn from one another, and continue when the solution was not immediately visible. We look at this cube and we think that the most impressive part is that it has been solved. But the completed cube does not show how many wrong turns came before it. It does not show the pieces that had to be moved backward before they could move forward, or the number of times we had to pause, rethink, and begin again. Graduation can be like this. Today, people see the gowns and the completed degree. They see the final pictures, but only we know what it took to bring all the pieces together. And this is why today my heart is full of gratitude. First, thank you to Google DeepMind, not only for funding this phenomenal scholarship, but for believing in the importance of developing scientific and artificial intelligence talent across Africa. Thank you to AIM South Africa for giving us an environment in which we are challenged, supported, and encouraged to grow. To Professor Karen and Professor Yurik, thank you for your exceptional leadership and guidance throughout this journey. You did not simply teach us how to find answers, you taught us how to think. And to my fellow graduates, thank you. Without you, this journey would not have contained the laughter, friendship, encouragement, and unforgettable moments that made it so special. Because the change happens gradually, we do not always notice it. So today, look at the person beside you and remember that the person who arrived at AIMS and the person seated here today are not the same. 20 years from now, we may give anything to return to the exact age and back to this exact moment. So let us pause and enjoy the now. Let us celebrate how far we have come and appreciate the final moments together. The cube may not always be perfectly solved, Life will always turn, shift, and challenge us, but AIMS has given us something more valuable than a completed cube. It has taught us that with patience and courage, we can always begin solving again. Congratulations, class of 2026, and thank you.
Distinguished guests, faculty and staff, fellow graduates, friends, and family, good afternoon. Looking around today, I see a room of students who have achieved something incredible. We have turned stress, deadline, and instant noodles into a graduation. That is amazing. My name is Justina Chum. I'm from Ghana, a student in the mathematical science stream. It is a great honor and a privilege to stand here on behalf of my class. 10 months ago, a group of people from more than 10 different African countries embarked on a shared academic journey, brought together under the same roof by a common passion for mathematics. More than an academic journey, it has been a journey of self discovery, of learning who we are as individuals, as Africans, and as members of a community far larger and more diverse than any of us were ever used to. It has, without question, been a demanding journey. We were tested repeatedly, and there were times many of us doubted if we could reach this stage at all. Today is more than a ceremony, it is a victory, a celebration not only of what we've achieved, but of everything we overcame to arrive here. To my fellow graduates, I would like to say Ayiko, which means a job well done in my native language. Let's give it up for ourselves. But of course, none of this was achieved alone. On behalf of the AIM September Intake 2025-2026, I would like to say a thank you to each person in the AIMS community who has helped us come to this point in our lives. To our funders, the MasterCard Foundation, thank you for investing in us. To our director, Professor Karen, and the entire administration, thank you for steering these institutions. To our visiting lecturers from all over the world and our teaching assistants, thank you for the knowledge shared and for presenting us with contents that challenge our minds. To Iksan and his team, the kitchen, cleaning, and support staff whose consistent work kept this place functioning every single day, thank you. And to my classmates, what an extraordinary group. I have learned so much from you guys as I have learned from lectures. Now, a few honorable mentions, of course. Bill, thank you for the interesting board games and for all the nights of entertainment. Lavender, thank you for representing us so well at every conference you attended. Manonde and Solomon, normally. Yeah. I want to say thank you for the extra tutorials. They got us here. And Kofi, yes, it has not been easy, but we made it. Lord. Together, we have endured the late night in the lab, the deadlines, and the moments of doubt. And we merged not only with a qualification, but with a network and a family spread across the continent. From here, each of us goes on to write a different chapter, some into further study, some into industry, into research, and paths we haven't even discovered yet. Wherever that road leads you, my hope is simple. Choose to do work that brings you joy, and let that work leave a positive impact on the world around you. And remember to always use your NI, not just AI. Congratulations once again. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Dear Professor, distinguished guest, and my fellow graduates. It's a great honor and a real pleasure to stand before you today on behalf of my class 2026. My name is Manode Bagidi Descos. I'm from Benin Republic. I'm doing here the Master in Mathematical Science. At the beginning of this year, we were taking the class of mathematical problem solving. At the beginning, I thought that would be probably the more easiest class on this program, but that was a lie. A few weeks after the first course, I realized that it was not easy at all. And from that, one of my fellow graduates saying it was not easy, and that became a good slogan here. Yeah. So we learned that EMS have helped us a lot, and is giving us a lot to learn, because we are thinking, since we have taken some course before, we'll do it well, but that was not easy. From that, we learned that we have a lot to learn again, and that will not be just the beginning. We have also a lot to learn after EMS. When we look back, we can proudly say that EMS have changed us. That is why today is not just a day of celebration, it's also a day of thank you. First of all, thank you to EMS South Africa for believing in us and giving us a life-changing opportunity. We were chosen from many applicants, and we are truly grateful for that. EMS have given us much more than education. It have given us a family, a community, and memory that we will never forget for the rest of our life. Our sincere thank you to Professor Neil Turuk for his vision for making EMS into existence. Thank you to our director, Professor Karin, and also to Professor Ulrich, all of the lecturer, mentor, and the academic staff. Thank you for your passion, for your support, and for your trust. You did not only teach us mathematics and science, you helped us to believe in ourselves. We also like to thank the MasterCard Foundation for making this journey possible and giving us the Chankura. Many of us will never be here without that support. Thank you also to Google DeepMind and all partners who continue to invest in young African scientists. I would also like to thank the people who work quietly, the technical staff, the cleaning team, the kitchen team, the laundry team, and everyone who make our stay comfortable. A special thank you to Mr. Iksan, whose email become part of our daily life. We will never forget your support. To my fellow graduates, we came here from different country, different background, and with a different accent. We also have a different way to solve the same mathematical problem. But today, we are living here as one family. Thank you for the later night study, the last time revision, the encouragement before every exam, the long discussion about whether the problem was too hard or whether you have missed just something. And once again, congratulations. One of my friends used to say, congratulations, congratulations. I exactly don't know why it's twice, but I think today is the day to say it. Congratulations, congratulations to every one of you. Congratulations for your hard work, for your courage, and your determination. We made it. As is said in my home language, Mikudaso, that means thank you for your hard work. Finally, I would like to say that I love you so much. You are now my family. You are now a part of my family. This graduation is not the final line. It is the beginning of a new responsibility. We must use this and everything that we learn here to help solving African challenge. And I wish to all of us success in our next life, getting million, field medals, Nobel Prize, and be successful entrepreneur, great professor, and then to give back to this community. And at the end, I would like to say again, congratulations to the class 2026. Thank you.
So apart from the academic excellence that we offer the students, we also have several outreach activities and activities that develop them in their entirety, including AIMSEC, the unit that does the school outreach activities and training for teachers, and House of Science, who are central to training our students in science communication. I'd like to ask Dr. Tejumadi Okundipe and Dr. Rejoice Gavi Mulefi to come forward to recognize our students for their activities in these programs.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. And I think probably I should start by saying congratulations, congratulations. Following Manu Day's speech. All right, all protocol duly observed. My name is Dr. Tejumadi Ogundipe, and I'm speaking on behalf of AIMS Schools Enrichment Center, AIMSEC. It is a great privilege to stand before you today as we celebrate and recognize the achievement of AIMS master students. Congratulations to each and every one of you on this significant milestone. Your hard work, perseverance, and commitment have brought you to this point, and we celebrate with you. Today, I would especially like to recognize those who worked with me, who volunteered their time, knowledge, and passion to serve as tutors on our computational thinking program. Many of you work closely with me, and I'm incredibly proud of the impact you have made on our learners and teachers. May I please ask all those who volunteered on Saturday during our computational thinking workshop to rise up for recognition? Can you please? Thank you so much. I'm sure you deserve a big round of applause. So thank you. Really appreciate it. From organizing learners and teachers during the sections, escorting learners safely to and from the bus and beach, distributing learning materials, coordinating group discussions, and ensuring that every learner and teacher remained engaged throughout the program. Your contribution was invaluable, and none of these efforts went unnoticed. For me, one of the most remarkable parts of the program was the introduction section. Before we even began teaching computational thinking, each of you had the opportunity to share your story, where you came from, the challenges you had overcome, and the people who believed in you and invested in your journey. You reflected on those who contributed to where you are today, reminding us that none of us reaches this point alone. Those personal stories resonated deeply with our learners and teachers. Many of the learners and teachers came from backgrounds similar to yours. And when they heard that someone who had once faced similar challenges was now pursuing a master's degree at AIMS, they began to believe that they too could achieve great things. Your stories gave them hope. Your presence gave them confidence. Your willingness to return and invest in others demonstrated the true meaning of giving back. Beyond teaching computational thinking concepts, you inspired curiosity, resilience, and confidence. You equip teachers with practical strategies and show learners that they are capable of solving problems, thinking creatively, and pursuing opportunities they may never have imagined. That is the kind of impact that cannot be measured by a certificate of recognition. It is measured by changed mindsets, renewed aspiration, and lives that have been encouraged to dream bigger. Thank you for choosing to give back. Thank you for serving with humility, excellence, and dedication. The seed you have planted in the lives of these learners and teachers will continue to grow long after the workshops have ended. We are incredibly proud of you. We sincerely appreciate your contribution, and we look forward to seeing the many lives you will continue to impact wherever journey takes you. On behalf of AIMSEC, thank you for your service, thank you for your commitment, and thank you for making a lasting difference. We wish you every success in your future endeavors. Congratulations, congratulations. And once again, on your well-deserved achievement. And may God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Karen, for the kind introduction, and Dr. Tejumade. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and dear students. Thank you for joining us in this special occasion where we are not only celebrating achievement, but also the impact and leadership demonstrated by our graduates. I'm honored to present Science Communication Leadership Recognition Awards to students who have successfully completed three-phase Africa Scientific Program delivered by AIMS in partnership with African GONG, which is the Pan-African Network for the Popularization of Science and Technology and Science Communication in Africa. This transformative capacity building equip our students with very essential and transformative skills to be able to communicate their mathematics, physics, statistics, AI with the broader communities. Who are these communities? Their parents, their grandmothers, their siblings, taxi drivers in the street. Because the question is not what we know, but how do we share what we know? How do you inspire young people if your science is still sitting in your ivory tower? How do we support communities if we don't know the challenge that they're facing? And how do we influence policymakers if you can't communicate your science? So phase 3, students develop the science project to engage community and address real societal challenge. Many of these initiatives take place here in Muizenberg communities and surrounding areas, including partnership with local libraries, places of worship, radio station, and also through weekly tutorials. So through this work, our students have demonstrated that not only academic achievement, but also social responsibility, as Tejumade mentioned. All students who completed the project will receive the Leadership Award certificate and the letter of commendation to support their future post-AIMS journey. At AIMS, we recognize that degree alone is no longer enough. They need more. You need more in your toolbox because I always tell you it's very cold out there. Employers, academic institutions are increasingly seeking evidence of value-added skills in your toolbox. Science communication, commitment, character, resilience, engaging with the society. This is why such skills developed through us, Africa Scientific, give our graduate competitive advantage. We are intentionally about that. And today I would like to acknowledge our August intake as we celebrate this graduation ceremony. And to our January intake, we are not forgetting, you'll get your awards later in the year. We are proudly acknowledge students who completed successfully three-phase science outreach. And in the following order, Biruk Daniel Asetu, Daniel Kofi, Manonde Tena Anam, Justina Tom, Vanessa Kanok, Hassan Hassan, Lavenda Akinyi Ayako, Gabilaga Elaya Tabo Manosa. For those that have mentioned their name, please stand up so that we can applaud you and appreciate you. Thank you. And to those who haven't completed, we encourage you that as you leave AIMS, please continue to do this important work in your home community. Please note that we also give you a certificate later after the graduation. Congratulations to our graduates. We wish you every success on your post-AIMS career journey. May you continue to lead, inspire, and make science accessible across Africa and beyond. And as you leave AIMS, remember your journey here, it was not just intellectual, scientific knowledge that you have gained. Remember, we challenged you, we affirmed your potential, we validated you, we strengthened your confidence, we boosted your self-image, and we prepare you to be leaders and global citizens who needs to go out there and make a meaningful impact. Thank you.
We now move on to the next part of our address, which is the recognition of the AIMS Excellence Awards. I'm going to ask Ulrich to come forward just to read the names out.
So I'm going to read the mathematical sciences stream, and then we can swap places, since there are only two of us. The Academic Excellence Awards, and there are 3 of them for the mathematical sciences stream, go to Mononde Gabagui. Mononde, come up. The next Academic Excellence Awards goes to Bill Mbogo. And finally, the top achiever for the mathematical science stream this year, Solomon Charlie, please come to stage.
Right, we now move on to the AI for Science stream. We start with Tovina Thierry Leong Pok Tsi. Ethar Amar Mohammed Ahmed. Hassan Mohammed Hassan Suleiman. And then last but certainly not least, our top achiever for the AI for Science stream is Usama Ahmed Kawashti Abdilrim Makhlouf. Thank you. So, one group that I don't think we acknowledge enough who are central to our academic success is our teaching assistant group. And wherever they are right now, I'd just like them to stand up and for us to acknowledge the role that they play in the academic excellence that we offer. So, please stand up so we can applaud you. Right, before we get to the commencement address, I don't think an achievement ceremony is as celebratory unless there is a choir. And the students will know I started about a month ago, stopping random people to ask if they can sing. And I'm very excited to present to you our Ames Choir, who've been practicing tirelessly to celebrate with 2 items before we move on to our commencement address. Thank you. So I should add as an anecdote that we are as serious about our music as we are about mathematics and AI. The choir had to submit videos for approval and had to audition, and we had a small committee who decided on their items. So thank you very much for the efforts. All right, it's now the great pleasure for me to announce our commencement speech speaker, Professor Wim de Villiers. Professor de Villiers served as Rector and Vice Chancellor of Stellenbosch University from 2015 to 2025, leading one of Africa's foremost research-intensive universities through a decade of growth, COVID, innovation, and academic excellence. A medical doctor by training, he has held academic and clinical leadership positions in South Africa, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Earlier this year, Professor de Villiers embarked on a new chapter. He's not going to retire as fundraising and strategic projects lead for Stellenbosch University's Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences and the Center for Epidemic Response and Innovation, CERI, who we have a very close partnership with as well. There he continues to champion research, innovation, and partnerships that improve lives across Africa. Prof. de Villiers is a steadfast supporter of AIM South Africa and a strong advocate for the transformative power of higher education. We are delighted that he has joined us to celebrate this important milestone with our graduates, their families, and friends. Professor de Villiers, thank you for joining us today. On behalf of everyone at AIM South Africa, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to our Hotel for Mathematics. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving Professor Wim de Villiers a warm AIMS welcome.
Thank you very much, Karen. What a joy. What joy. And it seems to me that the joy sort of increased logarithmically as each graduate moved across the stage. And it is so wonderful for me to be part of this recognition ceremony. It's truly a privilege and an honor. So, distinguished faculty, proud parents, completely relieved siblings, and most importantly, the brilliant sleep-deprived master's class of 2026. Congratulations, congratulations. I think I'm gonna include that phrase in speeches from now on. So standing here looking at, there's a total of 60 of you, 52 are attending in person, and 8 of you are receiving this in absentia. I do see the future of science. And that's also, it's certainly, it says a lot about you, but it also requires a lot from you in future. So I see a group of people who have survived, and we've heard this, the absolute pressure cooker that is Ames. Let's be honest, you didn't just earn a master's degree, you survived an intellectual boot camp where sleeping 8 hours was treated like an unproven hypothesis. You've mastered partial differential equations, survived stochastic processes, and drank enough coffee to fuel a rocket ship. You are, without a doubt, some of the sharpest analytical minds on the continent. But today, you step out of the Ames bubble and into a world currently having a massive collective existential crisis over 2 letters, A and I. And every graduation speech this year is required by law to mention artificial intelligence. And it seemed to be at some of the campuses in North America, this actually resulted in quite a bit of discomfort. But speaking to you about AI is different. I'm not talking to the general public who thinks that ChatGPT is an all-knowing wizard living inside their phone. I also need to not be disingenuous and confess that I used my very good friend Claude to help with creation of this speech, and it was the paid version. So I'm talking to the people that know that behind the sleek user interface, it's just massive matrices, it's linear algebra, and a terrifying amount of calculus, especially for a gastroenterologist. But you aren't fooled by the magic show. You know how the trick is done. And as the great computer scientist Edgar W. Dijkstra once said, the question is not whether a computer can think, because that is no more interesting than the question of whether a submarine can swim. Because right now the world is obsessed with submarines swimming. Generative AI is writing poetry, creating apps, and creating art. It is fast, it is efficient, and frankly, it is incredibly lazy. It hallucinates facts with the absolute confidence of a politician. And that brings us to your greatest challenge. How do you, the human mathematician, stay relevant in a world dominated by artificial thinking? And the first challenge is that AI is moving at a speed that makes standard university curricula look like they're traveling by donkey cart. And we heard a little bit of that from what Ulrich said. And by the time you finish optimizing a model, a new one has dropped that renders yours obsolete. It's exhausting. But let me give you some comfort. AI still doesn't know and still doesn't understand the real world. It operates in a frictionless, perfectly labeled vacuum. AI knows how to optimize data, but it doesn't know how to handle a power outage in the middle of a simulation. AI can calculate the probability of a traffic jam in Cape Town, in Lagos, or Nairobi, but it doesn't understand the complex human geometry of a minibus taxi cutting across 3 lanes of traffic. The world needs your human mathematical intuition. And as Einstein famously remarked, pure mathematics is in its way the poetry of logical ideas. AI can generate text, but it doesn't feel the thrill of a proof finally clicking at 3 a.m. after 4 failed attempts and 3 bags of chips. It doesn't understand the soul of the problem. Then the second challenge that you face is context. Most of the massive AI models being built today are trained on data that doesn't reflect the reality of the African continent. They are trained on the global north for the global north. And if you ask a standard AI model to solve an agricultural yield problem in a rural village, it might suggest an expensive drone system. But it takes an Ames graduate to look at the same problem and say, actually, let's look at the local rainfall patterns, the soil mechanics, and rather build a lightweight model that runs on a basic smartphone without internet access. Do not let the machine intimidate you. You have something no neural network will ever have, and that is grit, cultural context, and African resourcefulness. You know how to do world-class science with constrained resources, and that is your superpower. So as you pack up your laptops and leave the Institute, I want to leave you with 3 simple rules for navigating this AI-saturated world. 1, never trust an unchecked baseline. Just because a machine outputted a number with 10 decimal places doesn't mean it's correct. It just means the machine made a mistake with incredible precision. Be the person who asks, does this actually make sense? Does this make physical sense? Number 2, keep your humanity high dimensional. Your humanity high dimensional. In math, we love high dimensional spaces. In life, keep your empathy, your ethics, and your community high dimensional too. We know what you are good at, but the question is, what are you good for? AI can optimize for efficiency, but it cannot optimize for kindness, fairness, or justice. That part is entirely up to you. And number 3, stay adaptable. And this is a quote from the brilliant mathematician and pioneer Ada Lovelace, who said, those who have learned to walk on the threshold of the unknown worlds, may then safely apply themselves to any department of human knowledge. Your degree says mathematical sciences, but your true qualifications is that you know how to learn. When AI automates a part of your job, let it. Use that free time to think about harder, deeper, and more impactful problems. So class of 26, you're 60 strong. You represent different nations, different backgrounds, but you share the same mathematical DNA. And the world out there is messy. You heard it's cold. It's messy. It's nonlinear, and it's chaotic. The algorithms are trying to smooth it all out, but we need you to step into that chaos and to lead. So go out there and write better models, build fairer systems, use your data to feed people, to heal people, and to lift up your communities. And whenever you feel overwhelmed by the machines, just remember, you can always unplug them. They still haven't figured out how to bypass that. I want to tell you, I said this, what a joy, what a joyous occasion. I feel blessed to have been able to participate in this very joyous occasion. So congratulations, congratulations. Ames class of 2026, and go and make us proud. Thank you.
I'm now going to call on Dr. Rejoice Gavimulefu, who's going to do a vote of thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Are we still here? Awesome. It is my honor and privilege to give vote of thanks on behalf of AIMS South Africa. At AIMS, we are guided by the spirit of Ubuntu, an African philosophy, which means I am because we are. Ubuntu is rooted in mutual care, humility, respect, and solidarity. It reminds us that success never achieved in isolation. It's through collaboration, partnership that we grow, innovate, and transform over the years. This philosophy is reflected in our everyday life, together with our local institution partners, universities, South African governments, agencies, donors, civil society organizations, schools, and Muizenberg community, we continue to expand science, innovation, and technology in this continent. To all of you, thank you. Your partnership enable us to fulfill our mission and impact in this continent. As we are about to close this special occasion, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to everyone who has made this event possible today. First and foremost, our sincere gratitude to Prof. De Villiers for your inspiring commendation address. Your words has encouraged our students to not only think of where they are now, but also the challenges that are out there on our continent and opportunities and what they have in their hand to address those challenges. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your experience, and also encouraging us, our students, as they embark on their next phase of their life. To our honorable guests, representative and leadership from different universities, our collaborators, supporters, friends of AIMS, alumni, and learners from our local Muizenberg community. Many of you have been with AIMS as part of the AIMS since the very long beginning. You witness AIMS takes its first step as we grow in strength, and become the institution we are today. We are truly grateful for your support, and we are who we are because of you. To the parents, those who are here today, and I think some they are even joining online, you trusted us with your daughters and son over the last 10 months. That's big. Some of you, you thought maybe they're coming to a scam, but we take care of your daughters and sons. You sacrifice your love, encouragement. Thank you for contributing to AIMS success. Behind every AIMS graduate class of cohort you have had, there is an extraordinary team of faculty and staff, and you had names, you had departments. So these are people who are dedicating their hours of work supporting our students while they are here at AIMS. Thank you for all the AIMS staff and faculties. And finally, to our graduates, it's your day. Thank you for trusting us. Thank you for being part of AIMS' impact, footprint, and legacy in this continent. Before I hand it back to Professor Karen, I would like to invite Prof. Will De Villiers to come over to the stage to join me so that we can offer our gift. Thank you. So, on behalf of AIMS South Africa, I want to say thank you for your continued support, and also for taking your time this morning to bless us with your wisdom and experience. Thank you.
Right, so that brings us to the end of the ceremony. I'm now going to ask the audience to stand up as the procession leaves. The guests will leave and then the students. And then I'm going to ask, it's a bit awkward, but that we do a circular walk and come back so that we can take some photos with our distinguished guests and students just before we break for some socialization. So thank you, everyone.